Hey, I'm in Dilijan National Park, Armenia, and I want to talk about things I cannot do. So, I usually hike alone. Sometimes I join other people, and in those occasions, I regularly get this phrase that I cannot do it. And I want to address it now. First, I have to say it's not so simple. If my fellow hiker is a polite person, they just give me unsolicited advice on how I should walk or how I should change my lifestyle so that hiking would be easier for me. If they're not so polite, they just say it out loud. They tell me that I'm not capable of doing this route. I have several points to make here. First is I don't really see why people insist on having this weird dichotomy, this black and white thing where if you're shit, you just don't go, you don't go hiking, then you're shit. But if you are going to go hiking, you have to be in such a physical shape that it's not a problem for you at all, that it's so easy you don't even notice that you're walking up. It's as if you're lying on a couch. This dichotomy is obviously not true. You clearly can do hiking without being the best, without being the strongest possible person. You can do hiking and suffer in the process. That's at least what I do. So, another point I want to make is that there is this intimate relationship between distance, speed, and time. So, if my speed is lower than yours, I just have to take more time covering the same distance. Another point is cost-benefit analysis. When people suggest to me that I should do some sports to be able to cover the track I'm taking faster, do they really suggest the best way of approaching this task? For me to achieve perfect physical shape, to be as jacked as my fellow hikers usually are, I need to spend at least 2 years of doing something I don't want to do. Of, let's say, running or going to some gym or whatever. Because I have a life. I work and I sleep and I study and I meet my friends, so I cannot spend all my time doing sports, which I don't want to do. So it will take me a lot of time to achieve, to spend 2 less hours on the track. Maybe was it the best approach? Maybe I could spend 2 weeks, and by 2 weeks I mean my normal hours working. Spend 6 hours per day working for 2 weeks and earn enough money to hire 4 people to carry me around. That would achieve my goal much faster and much easier. Another point is that when they're saying that I cannot do that, it's usually not when I'm climbing Mount Everest. It's when I'm doing a typical day trip, typical day hike that is, 10 kilometers long, that never ascends higher than 2,500 meters. That is totally doable, even by me. It takes me longer than an average hiker, okay, but what did you just suggest me? You suggested to me that I should spend a lot of time, as I said, 2 years, doing something I don't want to do to be able to achieve what I can already achieve. That seems kind of nonsensical to me. The the next point I want to make is that, alright, I understand that me being slower means that I'm not capable of reaching certain destinations. I will, let's say, run out of daylight before I reach some location. And that's completely true. So I understand people feel the need to help me with it. What I don't understand is that why don't they feel the same need to help with some other limitations I have in my life? For example, I don't drive and I don't own a car, and some locations are only reachable by car. So will they be willing to buy me a car and pay for my driving courses? I don't think so. The next point I want to make is, okay, there are some locations I won't be able to visit due to my physical shape or the lack of money or the lack of time. Do I have other locations to visit? Other places where I can go? And yes, there are. The earth is quite big, life is quite short, vacation only happens twice a year, if I'm lucky. So I think I die first. I die like much earlier before I run out of possible routes I can take. So I think I'm like it's okay. I'm packed. I'm packed for life. I will be busy, so I don't need to spend time and effort, which I don't want to spend, doing things I don't want to do, to be able to go to places I don't have the time to go to, because life is fucking short. The last point I want to make is that why should actually it take less than more? Why should it be faster rather than slower? When I go hiking, I go to a beautiful place. I'm in the mountains or in the forest. Why should it take me 3 hours instead of 5 in a beautiful place? Why should I cover the track in 3 hours, come back to my hostel, and have nothing to do there? If I can spend 5 or 7 or 9 hours walking as slowly as I possibly can, crawling if I want to, in a fucking beautiful place, why should it take less than more? I guess this is it. And well, I'm continuing on my road, which I'm not capable of taking.